Welcome to today's Elevate session, where I'll be talking to you about the strategy and vision for CHROs. I do have to put our safe harbour slide up there, as I will be talking about some of the future areas of investment that we are going to be making as a company. And our preference is that you make decisions based on currently available capabilities, as opposed to some of these future areas. My name's Allyson Skene, and I head up the Office of the CHRO Product Strategy across APJ. I've been at Workday for over 11 and a half years and have seen the growth across this region, and I'm very excited to be talking to you today about some of the approaches that we are taking in the Office of the CHRO. So let's start by thinking about the future of work and what some of those trends are that we're hearing. Skills is becoming a major area, and it becomes a fundamental construct as to how organisations are starting to define and deliver information. We know that job categories are constantly changing. Automation is coming to the forefront. How do we make you more efficient? Data-driven insights and decision-making is very key. If we've got millions of different endpoints of data, how do we ensure that we're surfacing up to you those relevant pieces? Flexible organisation structures, as we look at being able to be more agile about the approaches that we are taking. And of course, diversity, equity and inclusion. How do we ensure that we're managing and supporting the information to allow you to be more innovative and diverse across your organisations? So let's think about this from what we're hearing from our customers. And from our customers, there's really been 4 key areas that have really come to the forefront around what they are seeing and the challenges that they're facing. Firstly, around experience and engagement. How do I allow my employees to have a great experience when they're at work? How do we ensure that they're engaged when they are here? That skills challenge that I spoke about. How do you even understand what the skills are that you have within your organisation, let alone knowing how you are going to achieve the skills that you need in the future? And change and agility. We all know that change is constant. So how do we again ensure that we can help you manage and support and to be more agile as those changes occur? And finally, efficiency and automation. How do we support you to do more with less? We know it's harder to bring employees into organisations. We're moving into an ageing workforce, so we now need to allow you to be more efficient and to support automation with everything that we are delivering. These days, artificial intelligence and machine learning are really coming to the forefront, but it's something that Workday has actually delivered within our products for a number of years. But why is it important to the Office of the CHRO? Well, we're really finding 4 key areas. We want to allow it to increase efficiency. So how do we again utilise machine learning and artificial intelligence to be able to really understand those key things to surface up and to make decisions on? Optimising the outcomes. So again, as we support the workforce, how do we again ensure that those insights that are relevant and important to you are being delivered in a way that's easy for you to read and understand? Utilising skills. Our skills cloud, again, providing that opportunity to utilise machine learning to search through and understand the skills that you have, the skills that you need, and where those gaps are. And then empowering the workers, ensuring that we're suggesting up the right information, that we're allowing them to really take control of what they're doing and how they are moving through the organisation. So let's start with experience and engagement. We know that there's been rising disengagement and attrition. When you think about the last 3 years and the well-being of your employees and how that's changed, we need to ensure that people feel connected at work because it will have an impact on the success of your businesses. So what are some of the things that you need to be thinking about in this approach? Really, why do you care? Well, the first is around profitability. So when you look at it, organisations that really promote that great employee experience are actually 4 times more profitable, according to Forbes magazine. From an absenteeism, it shows that employees that are engaged at work have less than 41% absenteeism, according to Harvard Business Review. And turnover. So again, organisations that really look at providing these great employee experiences have less turnover within their organisations, according to Deloitte. So that's why you care. So what are the things that Workday is doing to help you support this? Well, we really look at this across two areas. Firstly, it's around simplifying the user experience. We want to ensure that as I'm connecting through the different stages of work, that I have a great experience, be that through communication, through around HR service and delivery, even supporting up the company policies and information that you have. On the other side, we want to elevate the employee experience. So from the time we onboard them into the organisation, through to areas such as promotion, transfers that can occur, simple things such as taking a leave of absence, and of course, having a great talent and development experience are all areas that we focus in on in this particular way. So a couple of examples that help us with this. Firstly, we started with creating an effortless homepage. So regardless of if I'm on a mobile, on a browser, I want to have personalised content that's relevant to the workers as they're coming in. I want to be able to surface up those important tasks so I know what I need to be doing and when I need to be doing that. And I want to make this easily accessible to everyone. I then want to be able to experience this through our Workday journeys for those moments that matter, to allow you to create curated content, delivering up these journey paths to take me through those different moments that matter. Be that from an onboarding standpoint to basic things such as a leave experience, or perhaps understanding what your diversity and inclusion approach is within the organisation. And of course, we also want to understand, is this effective? So we want to be able to monitor our engagement of our employees as we move through these moments. We also then want to look at this from the standpoint of working in your natural workspace, and we call this Workday Everywhere. We know that organisations utilise tools such as Slack and Microsoft Teams. So we again surface up those actions that I can complete while I'm in those areas without even having to go into Workday to experience that. And in fact, this is so successful that just within Microsoft Teams, we have 500,000 workers per month that are utilising Workday within Microsoft Teams. We also then wanted to look at this from the engagement side of things. How do we ensure that your workers really are engaged? So we utilise Workday Peakon, the voice of the employee, to pick up on that information. In the past, organisations have looked at creating surveys, maybe on an annual basis. Some may even be doing it twice a year. But what we're saying is this should be continuous. If it's 12 months out, it's too late. The issues have already occurred. You've probably already lost those employees. Or we've moved into this world of what we call quiet quitting. The employees are still there, but they're just doing enough work to stay where they are without really looking at how they can be communicating and collaborating better. So we want to be connecting on a regular basis. So even at Workday, we have what we call Feedback Fridays. Every Friday, we get 2 or 3 questions that allow us to understand what's happening with our employees. As an employee, I get to have visibility of my engagement score, how I'm feeling. And I can also see how the rest of my team is feeling and how this is changing over time. I can provide communication around this. So I can have commentary that goes back to my leadership team that's anonymised. So I can again not only have a score, but commentary associated with this. From a leadership standpoint, they then have visibility to understand how their teams are feeling. What are those particular areas that we need to take action on? There was a study done by Gallup, and they said only 20% of employees actually feel that they are being listened to. Peakon is one of those tools that allow them to feel that they are being listened to and that actions are going to be taken within the organisation. So let's move into our next area, which is around that skills challenge. We spoke earlier about the fact that skills are really becoming that currency of content within an organisation. We know that skills are necessary. We also know that you actually probably don't even understand what the skills are that you have within your organisation today. And you need to understand that. We also need to know what those skills are that you need to be able to grow as an organisation. So again, why do you care about this? Well, we've seen studies that have come through from organisations such as the World Economic Forum, where they're saying that by 2025, organisations do not actually have the skills that they are going to need to support that. That's only a year and a half off. It's a little bit scary. We also know from a productivity standpoint, according to Udemy, that 50% of employees don't actually feel that they have the skills that they need in their current job, let alone the jobs of the future. And from a performance standpoint, we know that organisations that focus on hiring based on skills as opposed to education are actually higher performing by 5 times. So they're important knowledge areas that we need to be understanding what is happening within our organisation. So again, how is Workday helping you with this? Well, we look at skills across the talent life cycle. We understand that from the start, when you have an employee or a candidate that's applying for a role, that we can suggest the skills up to them that we know about. But we want to have a human-centric element to this. Machine learning and artificial intelligence shouldn't be making the decisions for you. It should provide you with the information to allow you to choose what is going through. And that's what our suggested skills allow you to do. We then look at skills as it applies to allow me to learn and to grow. What are the skills that I have? What are the skills that I need for the future? And how am I going to grow into those? Through learning or through mentoring, for example. How do I now bring this into my performance and to assess people against the skills that they have? Or start to think about, how do I pay people based on the skills that they are achieving that are critical to our business? And then, of course, we have the planning side of things. How do I start to understand what those skills are that we need and how I'm going to get them? Are we going to build internally and develop our employees to have those skills? Are we going to borrow those skills on a short-term basis, perhaps through hiring in contingent workers? Or are we going to buy for the future, go through that talent acquisition process to increase our capabilities that we have? All part of this skills-based talent lifecycle. We know that there is a challenge around skills data. There are millions of different skills that are out there. And what we have done is we've focused on channeling down what the skills are. Our skills cloud, utilising machine learning and artificial intelligence, has gone through and it's done the hard work for the organisations. And it again will surface up those skills that it understands are most important within your organisation, within the industry that you're a part of. So again, you can easily select and manage around this data challenge for skills today. So the approach that we're taking is really to understand this, utilising AI and machine learning at the bottom, to go through and look at the data points that you have, to surface up the information, to be able to communicate that back through to you. So from day one, as soon as you turn the Skills Cloud on, it will actually be able to infer the skills based on the knowledge that it has. So you can report and understand what you have before an employee even comes in and touches the system. From there, I mentioned suggesting the skills so the employees can understand what it's inferring to them. We can then ensure that they can select those appropriate skills. Not only the skills that they have today, but the skills that they want to grow into in the future. And it's not just the employee saying that they have those skills. We want to ensure that those skills are verified. So we will tell you what those sources are of those skills. Is it through undertaking learning? Is it through past jobs that they've been a part of? Is it through feedback that's been provided to them? And then we want to understand this from a skills analytics standpoint. What do you have? What do you need to have? Where are the gaps? And how we are going to grow against those gaps? And over the top of that, creating a great experience for whoever it is that is interacting with Workday to support that information. So let me give you an example of one of the ways that Workday is helping you with this. And that's through our skills insights. Through providing you tools such as our people analytics, where you can understand what the heat map of the skills are, be that by job family, for example, or performance factors, and then understanding where the critical skills are within the organisation. Do you have them? And how are we going to get them? How do I understand what that full inventory of my skills are within the organisation so I can focus on the right areas to develop or to grow within the organisation. Let's move on to our third area, and this is all around change and agility. We all know, particularly over the last 3 years, we've had to change, and we've had to change quickly. In order to adapt and to change, we have to have the right tools in place to allow you as a business to be able to focus on those key things that are going to empower you and to drive better profitability. So again, why do you care? Well, we know that, according to PwC, 40% of our executives are focused on driving change. They need to understand how they can change and how they can change quickly. Otherwise, they're not going to be around anymore. We know from an agility standpoint, according to McKinsey, that organisations that are more agile are again going to be more profitable. They're going to be able to do things faster than their competitors, and they want to do that. And we also know, according to KPMG, that 73% of organisations that can really adapt and change faster are again going to stay ahead. So what do we do to support you around this? Well, there's a few examples. The first is through our talent marketplace. What if I could suggest to you, what are the key roles that the organisation needs? What are those key short-term development activities or flexible work teams that I need to be bringing together? What if I could tell you these are the skills that I need and have Workday automatically go and find the people that can support those long-term or those short-term needs that you have as a business? That's what our talent marketplace allows you to do. Not only that, I can establish the roles and the skills within those roles to take me forward. So again, taking the guesswork out of finding where the top people are that you can bring together quickly as you need to adapt and change as an organisation. So Talent Marketplace provided me with that information. We then take it to the next level, where I then look at how I can surface up to my employees, again, those same opportunities that they have a good match for. But not only telling them about the opportunities, but telling them where they are a match. And importantly, where they aren't a match, so that they can then focus on how do I now get the right skills that the organisation actually needs? How do I grow as an individual? So as I think about how I'm going to grow, this really then comes down to our career hub. So growing the employees from within. We know that internal mobility is a key focus area for the CHROs of today. If I can't get the employees externally, I need to ensure that I'm looking after the talent that I have within the business today. So if I can again surface up based on the critical needs that we have as a business, the mentoring opportunities, the learning, those internal gigs, if you like, or long-term job opportunities, or potentially even the projects that we should be bringing our employees together for. Telling them what they need to be doing in order to grow, creating career pathways so they can understand what their future areas of change within the business can be, and utilising machine learning to help put these suggestions up to the employees. To create that stickiness to ensure that they stay with you as an organisation and they are growing in those areas of need that you have as a company to take you into your future. We also then want to look at the Peakon experience. I spoke earlier about the fact that I can provide commentary around what's important. I can also ask questions around transformation exercises, for example, to understand if we are going to put change in place, how is that impacting our employees? So that as we do future change exercises, as we are being more agile in our approaches, is it actually working? What do our employees feel about that change? So I can again focus in based on keyword searches through natural language processing, those key items that I really do need to understand, those areas of the business that may have been impacted that I wasn't even aware of. So again, using that insight to again drive future change to create great change within the business. So moving into our fourth area, which is all around efficiency and automation. We know that it's harder for organisations to bring talent in. The talent isn't there. We're also moving into an ageing workforce. When we look at the fact that a number of countries around the world have older workers and they don't have the new talent that's coming through. We also know that we have tighter financial constraints that are also impacting organisations today. So how do we help you around that? And again, why do you care? Well, when you think about this from an efficiency standpoint, organisations that have actually looked at a digital world-class HR system have 40% fewer full-time equivalent employees, according to a report from the Hacker Group. When we think about insights, we know that 83% of executives think that worker data is either important or very important to really understanding how they can drive their business forward, according to a study from Deloitte. So as we think about digitisation, if we can focus on our back office processes and put more digitisation into those, we can actually free up 15% more time of your employees to focus on those key strategic initiatives rather than having to just manage the day-to-day information. So how is Workday helping you with this? Well, from the foundation of Workday, our business process framework allows our customers to quickly, easily adapt your business processes as you need to change and deliver on that information. We also then look at this through the lens of machine learning. So as I'm creating and managing information, what if I can just surface up to you the key data points that we know you use and you connect with on a regular basis without you having to go and find that information? So again, thinking about this from a human-centric standpoint, I'll surface up the recommendations for completing those business process tasks, but I still need to have you as an individual select the appropriate items. We then want to look at this from the power of insights. I spoke about the fact that from a Deloitte study that worker data is critical. Organisations need that to make informed business decisions. So what we want to do with our people insights is again surface up through analytics and natural language processing the information that you need to be aware of without you searching through hundreds upon thousands of different reports. It will go through and analyse all of the information and flag to you those areas of concern within your business. Where are you not doing as well? And then providing you with the data points so you understand exactly where it is. Is it a particular location? Is it a particular job area within the organisation? Is it a particular manager? How do I understand what I need to do and how I can now drive change against those areas, all delivered through automation? We then also want to look at supporting our HR professionals. We want to bring together that key information to allow them to free up that time to do the more strategic things within the business. And we're doing that through tools such as our HR Partner Hub, where it will again surface up the key tasks, the key reports, the key information that they need to do their job, to be more efficient, to deliver a better activity and experience for them as an individual. So what are the top 3 takeaways from what I've talked to you about today? The first is that we've embedded artificial intelligence and machine learning at the core of Workday. We do this in an ethical way to ensure that there is no bias and that we have a human-centric approach. We've been doing this for years and we will be continuing to do this on an ongoing basis, ensuring that what we do is going to drive the right areas of investment for you as our customer. Innovation is a core value at Workday. So again, how do we take these different innovation areas that we're focusing on, be it through insights, machine learning, through the skills challenge, and ensuring that that is delivered to you in a way that is going to support you into the future. And we also want you to ensure that Workday is focused on helping you overcome the challenges that you face today and what you'll be facing into the future. So thank you very much for your time and have a great Elevate.